conservatives and others simply about how we want to move the black community forward.
I saw that on the gram, Snoop made a post, bashing on some black educated folks. Calling them a coon, no it wasn't jokes. Man, you tripping like your foot caught between the spokes. You couldn't hold a light next to hurricane. So the main with better class and better brains, out rebuilding our communities and other things, like making up for all the damage from the dope and slang. Candace O, she's a queen in her own right, not the type to monetize off her own plight. Working hard for black America day and night. Understand that you're not the only dog in this fight. Terrence K refused to be a product of the system. Bounce around the foster care, no he ain't a victim. You got probation and luckily dies going to prison. Yeah, you believe you had the right to pose criticism? David Harris, I can tell the pain's authentic. He truly cares for the people, meaning all pigment. Your music is a reason why this generation's violent. Another reason why I couldn't stay silent. Miss Staten, she's a G, she did real time. All you do is talk about it, a real crime. But even that can't hold her back while she steady climb the long ladder to success in these troubled times. Tell me what's wrong with Pastor Darrell Scott? You hating on the man, simply hide what we got. When he supported you when you was Snoop lying, even when the majority figure Snoop lying. Look, I ain't falling for the tongue in cheek. Your virtual threats, man, they kinda weak. Cause I bet you ain't stepping to the Hodge twins just to fight with Shaw loses and Hobbs wins. You hate on Diamond and Silk, Paris Bernard. They support the president and that is regardless of all the hate that they receive. Being loyal is a trait that a dog can't conceive, huh? Funny how you say we work for massa. Hold on to that thought, got some questions wanna ask you. Who's in videos with their chains around the neck, posing next to Trump, the very man you disrespect? Who's buddy with all the Democrats, the very same party owned slaves in the past? Who's the one seen treating women like the objects, pushing drugs, alcohol, seems pretty obvious? Who became a slave to the game, traded all your mores for the fame? No more calling names, a real man step into the base. Better ask the Breakfast Club how these facts really taste.
That was good, man. Man, I ain't gonna lie, that's why I like watching it, man, cause you be hitting with the spit in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Nigga like me, I don't need do stats. I got common sense. I just be like, listen, that just don't make no sense, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be, but if I had stats, my God.
They gon' hate me for this one. Hashtag facts are racist. R.I.P. Mom, you the greatest. Raised up a king and they hate it. Everyone mind about racists when they're not the biggest problem we facing. Take a real look at the nation. Single motherhood inflation. Whipping your boys, I saw jumping a lady. She only 15, left her bloody and shaking. They wasn't wearing no rags. Nobody waving no flags. You ain't even gotta ask. It's black on black on black on blacks. Everybody wanna play victim. Blame everything on the system. Be a sad day when it hit them. Life could've been different if you would've listened to the information that we spit. Take it, keep it, chew it for a bit. Hold your head up, brother, never quit. Self-accountability, that's it. That'll get you all to the top. Then you really ball till you drop. Economic growth, man, I'm here to stir the pot. Say you wanna hear the truth, so I put it in a box. We changing the culture every day of the week. Right now it's more like a vulture. Only prey on the weak, but we are here to expose ya. Going down as I speak. No excuses, can't refuse this honesty that we seek. Y'all be like, facts are racist. Why y'all say this? You know it's true. Y'all just hate it. Facts are racist. Why y'all say this? You know it's true. Y'all just hate it.
13-year-old girls working on TikTok. You saying he just wanna learn how to crip walk. If you ain't talking about sex, then kick rocks. All they care about the chains and the wrist, watch the goddess change. This is something only God can change. Don't get mad at me when I complain about how 4 and 5 black women are beasts. Half of the murders us killing in the streets. Almost half of abortions too. This is a rap verse, but this is a warning too. They go against God like there's nothing more to do. But y'all don't care, y'all just really want a voice that's new. Wanna gangbang, do drugs, wish drugs all above. Sell drugs to you in the jail cell, not a club. Now another single mother, cause we lost another brother. Sold to an undercover, kids gotta run each other. This what you want for the future? Or are you trying to look cool on computers? Claim you a king, but blame the white man. When something bad happens, you feel like a loser. And keep voting the same way. Why? Cause your parents did it too. Truth is your parents are ignorant too, and politicians know it, so now they got you.
We changing the culture every day of the week. Right now it's more like a vulture. Only prey on the weak, but we are here to expose ya. Going down as I speak. No excuses, can't refuse this honesty that we seek. Y'all be like, facts are racist. Why y'all say this? You know it's it's true.
You know it's true.
Y'all just hate it.
Y'all just hate it.
Facts are racist.
Facts are racist.
Why I say this?
Why I say this?
You know it's true.
You know it's true.
Y'all just hate it. What?
Say, look, hey, free Masana for your honor. Left on boxing them chains. What was my dog, man? Why that bullet had got lodged in his brain? My mind is insane. A memory card is locked in the game. These optical frames spot ops and leave a block full of pain. Did the impossible, cross the tightrope while dodging the rain. I put in stitches in my Glock, no, I am not finna aim. Swear I got robbed and joined the army, so my spot could remain. One lost his life in North Carolina, hope he not as I sang. Drinking sorrow away on my alky still. For the soldiers we lost on the battlefield. Why am I hurting myself as I bury on belching out death when I'd rather heal? And most of these rappers ain't that for real. They mentioning that shit, they capture me. Talking fly when we push that in vacuum seal. Some of my homies not pushing up that deal. Now Ninja putting music to dream hours. We been up grinding up teen hours. They ain't believing that team power, then we had to run up 14,000. I thank you all for supporting us. This right here for the voice of the warrior. Victory is a beautiful woman. We went through the rain while in love with Victoria.
Whether they're gonna find a thing, whether wood and a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain. Whether they're gonna find a thing, whether wood and a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain.
Hard to hop off of the plane, just to get back in the trenches. My sister, my brother was slain, and I haven't seen any mentions from social media and networks. So irritated that my head hurts, and when I do, it's only excerpts. Small commentary from the experts. No appreciation for the lives lost. I post it up with the iron cross when the smoke clears from fine off. All I think about is my fault, man. Should've been there to protect you. The bullets that came and they wrecked you. Now it's my duty to go and collect you. Wrapping the casket, sending you home. Not full of madness, knowing you gone. How could this happen? Tell me I'm wrong. Dip in the sadness, leave me alone. Doctor got me medicated, wanna get me regulated. Helping me recover with the pain. Even though we celebrated everything you dedicated, now I gotta make it through the rain.
Whether they're gonna find a thing, whether wood and a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain. Whether they're gonna find a thing, whether wood and a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain.
Army Specialist Aaron David Robinson is accused of killing Guillen, and his girlfriend Cicely Aguilar is accused of helping him get rid of the body. And tonight, we have Aguilar's confession about exactly what happened the night Guillen disappeared.
Well, today marks 2 years since an Air Force veteran was shot and killed by a DeKalb County police officer. 27-year-old Anthony Hill, whose family says he suffered from PTSD, was naked and unarmed when he was shot by Officer Robert Olson during an encounter.
Olson was indicted by a grand jury and faces felony murder along with other charges. And now we've learned the DA has appointed a new prosecution team in that case.
Yeah.
Got another one. Yeah.
Everybody hate Chris.
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 They hating on my face.
They hate on my face.
They hate me for my fam.
They hate me for my family.
Now they hating on my faith.
Now they hating on my face.
But they made me what I am.
But it made me what I am.
They hate me cause of Trump.
They hate me 'cause of Trump.
What they gotta do with this?
What they gotta do with this?
But it really go to show.
What it really gotta show?
That everybody,
Yeah.
everybody hate Chris. Think you know who I supported? Biden or Trump, but debate I avoided. My vote this election I never reported. Cause Jesus, my family, my job.
Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. We are the two kings of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Wednesday at 9 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, and anywhere you can get a podcast.
What you know about that, brother? Oh my goodness. Holy crap. I am the strong one.
Whoa, I didn't introduce myself yet, bro.
Yeah, introduce yourself, man. Hurry up, bro. Come on,
Well,
man.
I'm the Philosopher King. You're butting in. You got a little impatient. I'm the Philosopher King. I'm the Ivory Tower. I'm the Mad Scientist. I'm Matthew. And I've got a perspective on things.
Oh, the strong one is in the house. I apologize, Ivory Tower, Philosopher King, the one and only Mad Scientist. I apologize. I am the strong one, the Iron King, and the Ebony Rembrandt? What do you call me? The Ebony what?
Ebony Rampart.
The Ebony Rampart. What's up,
the
y'all?
defensive structure.
The defensive structure. True. The defensive structure is in the house. My goodness, I'm excited. Big Ray is in the house. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm feeling very good today. And you know why? Here's why. I'm going to tell you why.
There's one other person we have to introduce, though.
No. Listen, that's what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's Dusty, and he's dead to us.
He's dead to us.
He's picking up his wife from the airport. I can't remember. We always get it confused.
It's always an excuse with that guy. You know what I mean? It's always an excuse, like, let me out of my cage, feed me every once in a while, all that good stuff. But hey, it's all good. I was going to quote The Matrix. I was going to be like, listen, the thing that bothers me about the place is the stench, and the stench of Dusty's not here. I can't just randomly say, Dusty! I don't have that ability. I can't tell him to shut up anymore. But it is what it is. Welcome to Plausible Foolishness, guys. This is the great show. It's the smell.
There is such a thing. I feel saturated by it. It's repulsive, isn't it?
I love it. He puts the fingers in his face like, smell this,
Yeah.
Dusty says, I'm not dead. Silence, Dusty. Silence.
I feel happy.
Oh, my goodness. What's up to everybody that's watching? Listen to us on Spotify and all of our podcast places. We appreciate you guys for checking us out today. My goodness, it has been an insane day, and I promise you I will be in the house next week. June is a lot more calm for the strong one, so I will not be hunkered down in my basement anymore. I'm in sales. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I happen to sell some stuff. I happen to be okay at it. And long story short, end of the quarter gets crazy, so I appreciate you, Ivory Tower, for having patience with me. I appreciate you, Dusty, for putting up with my madness. And we're at episode 162. Can you believe that, crowd?
I can't believe it.
162. This is insane. I'm excited. I'm just jacked up for life, man. So I'm pumped up to be here on the show. I'm pumped up to do this live with you every single Wednesday. And we've been talking about this show all week. I've been chomping at the bit since I got home Wednesday, or since we shut off last Wednesday to get on this show, because a lot has happened. The episode is poignantly named The Two Kings Remember. And that's for a reason, Ivory Tower. There's a reason why that is named The Two Kings Remember. Because, I don't know if you remember this or not, but we have been called, labeled, especially on my socials, my social medias, on my Strong One pages, I've been labeled as a conspiracy theorist. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh my.
I have been told numerous times that I am a conspiracy theorist, and I just have
I'm one of those people.
I'm one of those people, exactly. I've been othered into one of those people. But you know what's funny, Ivory Tower, is do you know what the difference between the truth and a conspiracy theory is? 12 to 18 months.
Interesting.
That's the difference. Because we remember, okay, I'm going to give you a couple examples. We're going to spitball here. I don't know if you guys remember a couple conspiracies that come to mind. You know what's funny? Remember when all of the circumstances came to light about the apparent Epstein quote suicide? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember the mainstream media told us it was a suicide. Don't you dare question. I mean, it looked fishy that he was completely by himself in his cell.
Fishy.
It looked fishy that his cellmate was moved a few hours before his suicide.
I mean, it was a little sus that the cameras just stopped working.
Yeah, at that specific time, they just stopped working.
Yeah.
Weird. And then you might ask the question, well, what about the guards watching him? Crazily at the time, both of them happened to be asleep. Right?
Yes.
So it's just weird. Everything perfectly happened. And then we're made to believe that he choked himself on a paper blanket. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
He was given suicide blankets, which are essentially paper. It's like a big, napkin, basically, essentially a thicker napkin. That somehow I don't know if you've seen the meme. We're supposed to believe this, and it's like a guy doing a cannonball off the second off the bunk bed with a paper rope, killing himself. You guys remember that? Now, if you question that, what?
Conspiracy theories.
Exactly.
Don't even mention that he got beat up a couple weeks earlier by a cellmate who mysteriously had a cell phone somehow, despite being in jail.
Yep. But you would be labeled a conspiracy theorist for mentioning that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a conspiracy theorist.
Wasn't he a former cop who had killed somebody?
Yep. Strange. But don't ask questions about that, because if you do, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't we all ask, like, isn't it weird that the cameras cut out right when he was killing himself? Conspiracy theory.
For sure.
Wasn't it weird that what was it? His hyoid bone was like not broken or something like that, which is like
there's a little bone in your throat.
Yeah.
That when you strangle, when you tie a rope around your neck and hang yourself, it gets broken.
Yeah. It wasn't broken. Or was it broken? I can't remember at this point.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it wasn't broken. Oh, yeah, that's right. It wasn't broken. So how did he kill himself? Interesting. And then it was just interesting that both guards that were watching him, both were asleep.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they'd been overworked.
Yeah.
Was the official story.
Highest
they'd been overworked. They were understaffed.
Yep.
And, these things just happen, unfortunately.
They just do. They
all
just
at one time, coinciding perfectly. For a man to get murdered. I mean, to kill himself.
Yes, perfect.
The guy on suicide watch.
But it's almost like it was by design. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you believe in something like intelligent design,
Exactly.
If evidence that leads you to think that this was put together by some kind of, mind.
Listen,
if that's a thing that, if that's a thing a crazy person like you might believe.
Well, it is interesting to me that the people that we can believe that Epstein, can believe the fact that Epstein didn't kill himself, can reject God. And you can see all these things coming together to make creation, but somehow everything came together from nothing. Like, come on now. But anyways, back to what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. It's almost like it was by design, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did I say? What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth?
Apparently a period of time, 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, so 18 months later, kids, by the way, the guards are taking a plea deal because, wait for it, they falsified their records about the account with Epstein.
What?
Let me repeat that in layman's terms.
Well,
they lied.
and I don't know why you had to repeat that, because surely it's been repeated all over the news 24/7.
No, we're very concerned about vaccinations right now. We can't talk about Epstein at all because it's settled, man. Right?
But
it's just like
now,
it's settled.
As a member of the Two Kings, I also remember a time when some candidates who ended up being, the current leadership in our country.
Sure.
Namely, the Vice President, Kamala Harris. Soon to be President Kamala Harris.
She's president already.
Well. Is any Democrat really president, or are they just controlled by their handlers?
I mean, the argument could be any Republican too, right?
Well, true.
If they're not getting nuclear heat like Trump, I don't believe that they're actually in control.
True.
But yeah, sorry.
Shout out to Dusty for paying his mandatory taxes. Rest assured, the rest of the citizenry of the Rube Empire, your taxes are voluntary. Only Dusty. Now, Dusty has to pay double because he's not here. So we'll be looking forward to that. But,
pay up, Dusty. Pay up. Dusty, we appreciate you, man.
Yes, thank you, bro.
You know what I mean? I miss you, Dusty. I give you a hard time, but we do miss you as a producer, bro. We miss you all the time. We miss you as a friend. I get the best random memes from Dusty. And here's the other thing, too. I do want to throw this out there. I know you do the Discord, but if you guys ever want to send us hilarious memes, please send them up. They're hilarious. I enjoy them much. So send them our way. We enjoy it, especially on the Instagram.
We got Discord, which I'll put in the app, or put in the chat. Yes. We've got Instagram. We'll both see it on Instagram. If you any other place, and any other place really.
Yeah,
only one of us has access. Well, he has access to Discord. He just doesn't go on it.
Listen, man, I just haven't advanced there yet, man. Okay.
Anyway,
I'm not handy with these, man. I'm handy with this face. Okay, and this majestic voice. Okay, that's what I'm handy with. All right, I'm handy dropping little liberal logic. Like, I'm handy at that stuff, bro. I got to stay with my spiritual gift. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Well, back to the Two Kings remembering. I remember when Kamala Harris said that she was unsure of whether or not she was going to take the vaccine because it would be coming out way too quickly. To be tested properly. There we go. Okay, now Dusty's current, and the sheriff will no longer be showing up at his house. So that's good. That's good.
I like it. Hey,
anyway,
before we get into it, everybody that's on Clapper right now, there is a bunch of you on Clapper, okay? And I love you guys. I appreciate all you on Clapper. You got to head over to twitch.tv/PlausibleFoolishness so you can check out the full show. Because listen, you don't want to see my ugly mug all the time. Look at that sexy beast, the ivory tower. The man that we come to see, you got to make sure you check us both out at twitch.tv/PlausibleFoolishness. That's twitch.tv.
They're only hearing half the conversation.
I mean, they can hear you, but they can't see you. Like, they need to see the melodiousness of you. They're not seeing the graphics. They're not seeing the, don't touch me there. They're not seeing the, the No Square. They're not hearing the X-Files music. They're not seeing Dusty pay his taxes. They're not seeing all the majesticness that is Plausible Foolishness at twitch.tv/PlausibleFoolishness. So head over there right now. Hit Twitch. Come join the resistance. Okay? As I'm hypocritically saying that as I don't do Discord. Listen, whatever. Twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. But yeah, you remember when Kamala said it was too risky to take the
Yeah, it's
vaccine?
too risky. Plus, Trump is the one responsible for these vaccines, so how could we trust them? Because he's a egomaniacal monster.
But I thought Biden was the only one that got the vaccines going.
No, the only one he got going was the Johnson & Johnson one, which has been shut down. And I think it's laughable to say he even got it going. I'm sure it had been in the works ever since Trump started Operation Warp Speed.
Has Biden successfully accomplished anything in the White House?
Oh, I mean, he's raised the price of gas and, cut thousands of jobs and,
inflated the dollar.
Inflated the dollar significantly.
Middle East is a hot mess again after Trump.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's magical. But I remember her saying that. But now you're saying that they're pushing vaccines.
Yep.
Really hard.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, they're giving you free donuts. They're trying to give you free tickets to things.
They very much want to separate us into vaccinated and unvaccinated people.
Of course, segregation.
Yet another axis upon which to divide us.
Sure.
So that's good. So now we've got class, race, and
medical.
And medicine.
Yeah. Isn't that the?
There's probably more too. Oh, sex and gender and and lifestyle.
So I got JBN and
religion.
I got Sean real quick. Back to what Biden's besides dividing our country again, he was supposed to be the unifier. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
He was supposed to unify.
Say that again.
He was supposed to unify us. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Well,
not as much as Obama was going to unify us. Obama was the great unifier, and Biden was the mediocre unifier.
Yeah. JBN and Sean McKinney were saying the same thing. He said they're saying that he approved the Russian pipeline, not ours, but a Russian pipeline in Germany. He's been successful there, So, but it's kind of a burden, Matt, for us to remember so much. You know what I mean? It's kind of a burden.
Yeah.
It's a burden for us to kind of remember all this stuff that we were told. Like Kamala Harris saying that she would never take the vaccine, which some conspiracy theorists think she never took it in the first place. Have you seen all the videos of the politicians taking the vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
And there's like no penetration of skin. The caps are on. The ankles are weird. Like you can't see them actually taking the vaccine.
Yep.
And I think it's only like 40% of Congress is actually taking the vaccine.
Really?
Or alleged that they've taken the vaccine.
I remember also when Nancy Pelosi was fining Republicans for not wearing masks.
Oh yeah,
like that Marjorie Greene woman.
Yep.
Got fined. First it was hundreds of dollars, and then a couple $1,000s every time she showed up without a mask.
Yep.
But then I feel like maybe this is just out of left field or just a bad, like a misremembering. But I feel like I saw a video of a group of politicians standing around each other, almost like a party, and they're like hugging each other and talking very close. No social distancing and no masks. But they must have all been Republicans.
No. Well, first of all, they were all Democrats. But I think you're thinking about the time where she got her hair done in the middle of a shutdown pandemic in California. But then again, you are right that she was hugging up a bunch of Democrats with no masks. Literally a week after she fined Republicans for not wearing masks in the halls of Congress. Interesting. The House. Sorry. Strange.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's so weird. That happens, right?
And it's like But that's not a common Democrat thing, you know, Gavin Newsom, Governor Whitmer.
Oh yeah, she got busted again going getting pizza. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
So she gets busted, not social distancing, not wearing a mask, eating pizza in Michigan, as she still has mask mandates up for Michigan, by the way, in spite of the CDC recommendation. Her husband got busted fishing when he wasn't supposed to leave the state. She got busted leaving for the George Floyd protest in Minnesota, which she just told her citizens they couldn't leave. Oh yeah, she got busted flying a private plane down here to Florida for vacation. Do you remember that?
I remember most of those things, yeah.
Isn't it tough, us remembering all this stuff?
I find it very useful.
Oh, man. Listen, man. Rules for thee and not for me, man. Rules for me. And it's tough because the internet, you can't escape this anymore. As much as they're trying to censor everything right now with all the major platforms, you can't erase being caught. You can't Gavin Newsom and then play off busted eating dinner with my friends with no mask on. Okay? You can't play off being Gretchen Whitmer and being busted eating pizza with whatever. You can't play this stuff off. You can't be Pelosi finding people 1 week and then the next week you're hugging it up with your constituents, with your buddies in the Democratic Party. Like, we're going to remember this stuff. We're going to remember that Kamala Harris said that she wouldn't take the vaccine because it's experimental when Orange Man was in power. And then they steal it, with good old, Is Biden even alive? That might be a conspiracy theory, man. Is he actually alive, or is he...
He's alive.
Because his interviews right now are pretty bad, broski. They're bad.
Well, yeah.
They're bad.
Well, okay, I mean, are we like redefining life to be
true. We don't want to
mental capacity and
we don't want to be like you abortionists out there. So
it is possible that they're practicing in necromancy. I wouldn't put it beyond them.
I'm willing to go with some crazy conspiratorial rants. I might go that way. Anyways. But yeah, I mean, we remember, right? We remember that, Epstein killed himself. That was just a conspiracy theory, right? Oh, here's the newest one that just got verified, by the way. What did I say? What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth?
12 to 18 months.
Okay, gotcha. Remember when Orange Man said that the Wuhan virus originated in a lab in Wuhan?
Yeah, that's why he called it the China virus.
China.
One of the reasons. It came from China.
China. What's up,
and down the street from the supposed wet market where the guy supposedly ate a bat and got it is a virology lab where they work on altering viruses. I mean, that's crazy. To think that it came from there. Totally sane and logical to think that it came from a guy eating a bat.
Yes.
That a virus jumped from bat to human with everything it needed to be the most virulently spreading virus we've seen to date.
Yes.
I mean, well, maybe the bubonic plague and things like that were worse. I'm no expert on ancient viruses, but, seen in our lifetime, let's say.
Yeah, sure. I mean, forget about tuberculosis that kills.
That's how evolution works.
Sure.
When things evolve, they evolve perfectly, and to do insane damage, not gradually over time.
Listen, man. I mean, clearly the bat story that made a lot more sense than a Wuhan lab developing this disease and taking a known disease.
We've never heard of communist countries failing at containment of dangerous things.
Chernobyl. Oh, sorry. Did you have the Chernobyl cough too?
Yeah, man. Gosh.
Weird. It's weird. It's weird.
Maybe it's a Rona thing.
You got to be a Rona thing. I'm going to the doctors tomorrow, anyways. So it's all good. Anywho, Yeah, so when Orange Man says this originated in a Wuhan lab, because crazily, he has access to intel that we don't. Like, weird. Like,
What are you talking about? He's
Huh?
just a crazy guy who was occupying the White House.
Yeah, right.
He just broke it in there, and he wouldn't leave. And
Yeah.
the eviction laws in Washington D.C. are such that they couldn't do anything about it.
Well, remember when they said he wouldn't leave office? Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that too? Okay, sorry.
Oh yeah, I still have the video of him quietly and respectfully leaving office, almost
Even
as if
though-
he, took great care in his job.
Yeah, weird, strange. But remember, he wouldn't leave. But also remember, it was a conspiracy theory that a Wuhan lab developed a known disease called coronavirus and made it worse. Until this week, where Fauci confirms that that's exactly what happened. Weird. Now remember, if Fauci say it, it's the gospel. If Orange Man says it, conspiracy theory. Do you know how this works? See how this works?
Yeah.
Because Fauci has never been known to flip-flop on his stance or look completely inept at what he does, ever. Correct?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think you could find a single video of him constantly flip-flopping.
Oh, like when he first said that masks don't work, it's ridiculous. And then he said masks are absolutely essential, and then he lied about what he was saying before. And that you have to wear a mask all times and social distance, except for the time where...
At least he never said that At least he never said that he told people not to wear masks so that they can stockpile masks for the hospitals.
No, I mean...
I was watching Tim Pool, and he made a great point. If people had just worn masks early on, then the hospitals wouldn't have gotten overrun.
Yeah.
So that's a stupid decision to make.
Oh, well,
I was like,
I mean...
yeah, that's not a bad point.
Yeah, but you'd have to think, and liberals don't do that anymore. But they do show up in baseball games, not socially distanced, not wearing their mask. They caught doing it, and then when they get caught, tripling down on the stupid and saying that you need to wear 2 to 3 masks that don't work. Remember, but then now Fauci says that masks don't really work.
Well, I remember when he said that there was no funding going for what was it? Increase of function. Testing.
Yeah.
To from the NIH, the National Institute of Health, which he runs.
Yeah.
To the Wuhan lab of virology for that research.
Not at all.
Meanwhile, Rand Paul finds out that actually there is money coming from the NIH through a second party.
Yep.
Or a third party, I guess, in this case.
Yep.
Through a third party directly to the Wuhan virology lab.
Weird.
And Dusty makes a point. Dr. Fauci worked on this very virus till his work was outlawed, so they moved all his research to China. Yeah, it was outlawed in the U.S. to engage in increase of function testing on viruses in America.
Yeah.
And I think he's right that he was working on coronaviruses.
Hey, listen, but that was a conspiracy.
Why would American research go to China?
Because you can do unethical things in China.
Same reason why American business goes to China.
Yeah, I mean, Hollywood loves China. Ask John Cena.
Wait, no, not John Cena.
Yeah, Mr. You Can't See Me apparently is
fluent. He's Mr. America, Mr. The Troops.
Yeah, man, all for the troops, brother. Except for when he bows to, Panda Bear, not Panda Bear, but Pooh Bear. When he accidentally said that Taiwan was a country.
Oh, Oh, that was a big mistake.
Oopsies. But again, Hollywood kissing butt to China is a conspiracy theory. Remember? It's not real.
Well, it's never happened. There's no other This is an isolated incident. There's no other celebrities.
No, not at all.
Or
not at all.
Maybe the two kings do remember.
Oops. Again, it's a burden.
LeBron James.
LeBron?
Yeah, I mean he was very much for Black Lives Matter, but very much against Free Hong Kong, as was the rest of the NBA leadership.
Weird. And remember, they were uneducated. LeBron said that they were uneducated on their stance. Uneducated.
I'm sure you can think of some others too, right?
Well, LeBron's all about the human rights, but not for weird Muslims in China.
No, or Christians. I've got an article from The Blaze about Christians being rounded up in concentration camps too. They're still doing it to Christians. They've been doing it for, the Uyghur is just the new flavor because Muslim. You can kind of get some traction with Muslim. Attacks or whatever.
Nobody talks smack on the religion of peace. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so peaceful.
Jews, and that isn't to say. And when I say that, I'm not saying that we shouldn't care. We absolutely should care.
We should.
It's just that Christians have been. It's been a problem for decades upon decades upon decades.
No, they're in the majority. They're the patriarchy.
Yeah.
That's what those Christians are. That's, right?
Yeah.
But hey, listen, we remember all this stuff, man. We remember Fauci, we remember all this stuff. Hey, here's another one to remember. Here's a fun one. I don't know if you remember this or not, okay? Remember, January 6th was an insurrection. Do you remember that?
100%.
It was an insurrection.
It was. Just recently, AOC said that they'd experienced the horrors of war that day in the Capitol.
I saw that meme where they put her face on a warrior's body, like from Iraq. I was like, get out of here! You're so full of it. It was an insurrection happening in DC. It's so dangerous, so insidious. They still have not released any tapes from that day at all.
Oh, no, but they should. You'd think that they would.
Of course.
You'd want to if you'd been through war.
Yeah.
Suffered PTSD.
Yes.
From just this horrible incident. You'd want to show. You wouldn't want to necessarily relive it and watch it again, but wouldn't you want others to know your pain?
Of course.
And especially to further indict the evil people who enacted this horrible incident on you.
Yeah, those evil orange people.
Yeah.
The orange people.
Those evil MAGA crazies.
MAGA hat wearing crazy. They still won't release the film from it, by the way.
That's weird.
Now, some fun things have popped up from January 6th. Besides the fact that they still won't release any footage from January 6th. Even there's been numerous calls from senators to do so. And for some reason, Democrats don't want that released. I don't know why. Interesting. I don't know. But come to find out, Capitol doors are magnetically locked.
Oh, I thought you were going to say are paper thin.
No. They're magnetically locked.
Okay.
The glass in there is bulletproof too, by the way. It can't break in.
So when you say magnets, you're talking like, what the kind of magnets that hang my children's pictures on the refrigerator.
No. I'm talking about you cannot release those doors without someone pushing a button to let you in or out of the Capitol building.
So, arm strength isn't going to open them?
Yeah. So remember,
They make magnets that strong?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's news. That's been all over the news outlets, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. One bit. And even the video of the quote leaders of the insurrection coordinating with the police officers to allow them to go into the Capitol building, which that's all over online, by the way. Not one mention of it in the mainstream media. But what solidifies that video even more is that the doors are magnetically sealed. You cannot get into the Capitol unless someone pushes a button and allows you into it. Fun fact.
So...
But remember, it was an insurrection.
And it's bulletproof. So they didn't just break the glass, because that's bulletproof.
Nope. No,
So this was a Candygram for Mongo situation, then, is what you're saying.
Yes, it was a Candygram for Mongo. Somehow the buffoonery of the guards allowed them to let insurrectionists into the Capitol.
They wanted Mongo to get his Candygram. So they opened the doors, and...
Yeah.
And then just the throngs of crazed MAGAs...
Yes.
Burst through and started, calmly walking through the...
Of course.
The lines. And,
calmly walking through.
Sightseeing in the Capitol, and it was horrible. Horrific. 6 blocks away, people were terrified at the...
6 blocks away?
6 blocks away, poor senators were huddled underneath their desks or whatever, in terror at what was happening in the Capitol.
Terrorized. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. But I just remember that this was an insurrection. I remember this was an act of terror. I remember this is the worst thing to happen to America since the Civil War. We talked about that last week. And now just more and more information is coming out. And it's interesting how much information they're blocking because they don't want people to know what's happening. You know what I mean? So that's pretty interesting. Something fun to remember.
JBN says, smoke billowing in the distance.
Yeah. 100%. Hey, remember that the George Floyd trial that, put an evil, despicable cop behind bars for second-degree murder. Ignore the fact that, St. Fentanyl Floyd had enough fentanyl in his system to kill him 10 times over. Ignore that, okay?
Sure.
Just ignore it.
That's easily ignored.
And listen,
the guy was white.
That video...
Cop was white.
True.
That's the only thing you ever need to remember.
True. Hey, listen. It sealed the fact that all cops that are white are evil and trying to hunt down, just poor innocent minorities.
Not just white cops. Well, I mean, there's only... Let me put it this way: the only kind of cop is a white cop.
Yeah, true.
I mean, just because your skin is dark doesn't make you not a white cop once you become a cop.
Yeah, I forgot. Liberal logic 101. I forgot about that. You are. Now, remember that fix of injustice, quote unquote injustice, was going to solve the situation going on all over the country, specifically in Minnesota. It was actually a year, just to let you know, that since Fentanyl Floyd was killed by a cop, okay? And the reporters were there at Fentanyl Floyd Central Park. Just kidding, George Floyd Square, they named it now. And as they were reporting, gang violence broke out, and gangs were shooting at each other.
So, it was like the Jets versus the Sharks?
No. More like the Bloods and Crips, but not the Bloods and Crips, but whoever the gangs are there, and which is weird because I thought once the evil cop went to jail and paid for the sins of supposed, societal racism or whatever it's called now, that, less cops and, cops being persecuted would literally end crime. That's what I thought was going to happen, right? That's what they billed us for, right? That's what they told us.
Well, it would end. I don't think this ever had anything to do with ending crime.
Oh, okay.
It was. Now, crime definitely wasn't going to get worse because,
No.
Because half the crimes were cops oppressing black people. But the oppression of black people by cops would end.
Yes.
And then crime would stay the same or get better.
Because, 90% of black deaths and homicides are done by either black men, and cops account for like 0.02% of the deaths, but, disregard that.
No, that can't be accurate.
Well, I mean, it's as accurate as showing up on the, ironically on the day that Floyd died a year later and gang violence breaks out on the very street corner that's dedicated for him. I mean, that would be ironic to me, but you would have to remember. You'd have to remember statistics and facts and reality. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to remember all that.
Well, you'd have to remember everything about George Floyd.
Sure. He was just
his history.
I mean, he was innocent.
He was an angel.
Listen, he only held up a pregnant lady, put a gun to her belly, and robbed her. What a great dude. What a great saint. You know what I mean?
He had only just previously used counterfeit money to try and buy something, which is why the cops were called in the first place.
He meant sainthood. Give him sainthood right now. Saint Floyd of fentanyl.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah. But I remember. Do you remember all this stuff? Because I
remember all this stuff.
It's weird, and that's the burden of actually remembering this stuff because, you can't hide from it. You can't run from it. You can't bury it under, your pillowcase because it's there all the time. And that's why we do this show because at the end of the day, like, we remember all of this. We don't forget this stuff. And keep in mind, we are demonized.
And we can't let other people forget either.
No, and I'm not going to. And again, we've had a lot of sarcasm in this show, okay?
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. But here's the thing about our show. The reason why we do this every single week, we're 162 episodes. We're at twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness if you're watching live. There are tons of you on Clapper. Head over to Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness.
Support us.
Listen, I hate to cut you guys off, but I love you guys enough to tell you, if you want to watch more of my content, you got to head over to twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm giving you a 2-minute warning, and then I'm cutting off Clapper. I got to cut off Clapper. I love these guys. There's a bunch of them in there right now. You got to head over to twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. Go to Twitch. Look for Plausible Foolishness. Look for this sexy mug. Look for the other sexy mug. We've got glasses. We've got beards. You're at the right place if you run into that. Okay. Glasses and beards.
Skulls.
Okay. Yeah. You see skulls. You see gold. Listen, this is what it should look like, Clapper. Look. Take a look at what it should look like. That is twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. That is the sexy man you're looking for. That's us. You got to head over there right now. Clapper, I love you, but I got to let you guys go. See you guys over at twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. Bye. Sorry, I had to do it, man. I had to do it.
Yeah.
There's tons of them over there, man. They got to head over to Twitch. But anyways, I remember saying that.
Sometimes people just won't change without a external stimulus,
Sorry. Anyways, I didn't mean to do it to my people, but I had to do it. But, no, like, I will never let people live this stuff down, okay? I'm not going to let you live down the greatest perpetrated, overblown hysteria, and I'm almost on hoax level, just looking at the numbers of Rona, and the fact that the flu magically disappeared, okay? I'm not going to let you live this down, okay? I'm not. I will not let you live this down. I will not let you live down the fact that you allowed the media to say that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. I'm not going to let you live that one down, okay? And they took stock in the fact that you sheeped to the point where you let this happen. And I'm not going to let it live down when we find out that this election was a sham, okay? Yeah. I talked about that. I'm not going to because I don't.
We still got to wait for all those forensic. We got to wait for all those forensic recounts,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see the forensic recounts. I want to see what actually looked like. I want to see what Arizona, Michigan, Georgia, and Wisconsin actually happened, because the problem
And Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania. Because statistically, what happened that night at 3 in the morning is impossible. It is impossible what happened. You can't have a massive lead in all 5 of those states. We go to bed, everything stops, and magically Biden just finds all these votes out of nowhere. Okay? And what's crazy in Arizona, what they're not talking about, which is hilarious, all right, is there's thousands upon thousands of duplicate votes. Okay? What that means is not only did they vote in person, but they voted via mail. Okay? And that's being counted as 2 votes. And you know what's weird about every single time? It's always Biden. Every time. Okay? It's never a Trump voter who votes in person and then votes in mail. It's never that way. It's Susie Fortes who votes from home and sends in a mail-in. Okay? Now, what's the other thing that's funny is every time they find that these people are registering from a certain address that doesn't exist, they're never Trump voters. Have you noticed that? None of the forensic, none of the ones that are clearly getting busted are Trump voters. But I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to be proven right until we get the forensic evidence, okay? That's why we've let it go. We've let it go until we want to see the actual truth. Now, my buddy, who's on TikTok, brought up a very valid point. He said what's interesting is they're going to wait on this until, like, there's a year left in Biden's administration to declare that, oh, wait, Trump actually won. Let Trump go back in power and then be like, well, you can't go again because, you won the first one. You won the first time, so we can't let you rule anymore. You know what I mean? And I thought that was interesting. That's still a conspiracy theory. It is what it is. But, again, give it 12 to 18 months, and it could possibly be true. But I'm going to leave all the forensic recounts that are going on right now that nobody wants to talk about, except for Joe Scarborough, who's pissed off that this is actually happening, that the Democrats are going to get caught doing what we said they need to. Okay? I'm going to leave it alone for now. I'm going to put it on the shelf, and I'm just going to leave it right there. But here's the thing. If it's found out to be true...
But you're not going to memory hole it.
I'm not going to memory hole it at all. Because once it comes out, I'm going to remind you that we were told we're conspiracy theorists for believing in math and statistical probability. Okay? I'm going to remind you of this. I'm going to remind you that literally 15 months ago, we told you that this was the flu. It's a bad flu. And it's coming out that it's a bad flu.
Sounds like a science denier to me.
We told you a year ago. We told you that masks didn't work. And guess what? We've been proven true again. We told you. We told you the vaccine was pointless. And it is. I'm sorry. More people are getting sick from COVID after the fact. They don't want to talk about that, okay?
Well,
you can't say that.
There's this influencer who lives in Tampa. He's on Instagram. His name's DC Drano.
Yeah.
He's been on Candace Owens' show since she started it, and other places. Apparently, he's been getting a crap load of texts about people's health conditions after after taking the vaccines.
Yep.
People who've died, and like every day, not every, but people who've died from like heart issues that were seemingly healthy. Now that happens often, but
like DMX.
But 2 days earlier they had gotten the vaccine.
Oh yeah, like DMX.
Yeah, like DMX.
Who's completely healthy and then magically died.
The really weird one to me is women who are claiming that they didn't get the vaccine, but they work with a bunch of other women who did, and it's messing up their menstrual cycle. Like they're either coming faster than they should, or they're they never really had cramps and bleeding like crazy, and now all of a sudden it's like tremendous. Just this huge difference. That's so odd. I mean, again, honestly, this is anecdotal. This is what people are texting this dude, but there's quite a volume of them.
Sure.
Is it possible that he faked it? Yeah, sure, that's possible.
Sure.
But this isn't he's not the only one saying these things. That's the thing. Yeah. This isn't something that we haven't heard before.
But it's going to get memory hold.
We already have one vaccine that's gotten, shut down.
Yeah.
Because of things like this.
Well, we're not even talking about the one in AstraZeneca, the one in Canada that's been shut down, by the way, which we're not talking about that. Because we don't talk about what's going on in Canada right now at all.
Yeah, or else we'd be talking about the people getting fined for shaking hands. Did you see that video?
You got pastors getting arrested. You have churches being shut down. People are getting fines for shaking hands. And AstraZeneca, look this up, getting shut down with their vaccines up there in Canada.
But man, Justin Trudeau is a good-looking man, though.
But he's good looking. Blackface 3 times, caught 3 times for it. But we don't talk about that. And, all this stuff's happening right above our border, but we don't talk about it because, let's keep the focus on those evil Trump supporters down here. You know what I mean? Those people that just won't let go of the election and these evil anti-vaxxers that won't get vaccines, even though most of the people that aren't getting vaccines are vaccinated by something else. I think about that, which is hilarious, by the way. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to let you forget this stuff. I'm not going to let you forget that you said that Epstein Island was a conspiracy theory. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let that go. I'm not going to let it go when you tell us that you're conspiracy theorists for not getting vaccines and then weird things happen with this vaccine. I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let it go that you said that herd immunity, remember this one? You remember this one? Herd immunity didn't exist during Orange Man. Now it magically exists because they can't explain why Texas is getting super healthy, why Florida is getting super healthy. And there's no mask mandates, there's no vaccine passports, except for Oregon, by the way. Oregon has vaccine passports. And did you see that there's 5 counties in Oregon?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That was beautiful.
I sent you that article.
Yes.
Yeah, there's 5.
Why?
For those who don't know, there's 5 counties in Oregon who have passed in their counties a resolution to start working on negotiations with, the state legislature and whatever to amend the border so that they become a part of Utah because they want out of the Oregonian madness.
Yep. And you know what? I think that's almost a better solution than civil war. Is just peaceful divorce. Like if you're sitting there and you're being dictated by Portland, Oregon, what you should think and feel, see ya. You know what I mean? Why would I want to be in your state, being represented by your state, if that's the case? Does that make sense? Now, Democrats are going to hate that because they're going to lose more power in the House. They've already seen that, right? House seats are disappearing from New York, California, so on and so forth, because people are moving away. But for the people that are like, listen, we're right by the border. If I'm in an Illinois border town, I'd be like, why is Chicago dictating anything? I should either jump to Indiana, I should jump to Iowa, I should jump to one of these states that, that isn't making me do all this crazy stuff. You know what I mean? If I'm in New York, I don't know where you run if you're in New York. Well, Florida, you guys all end up down here. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is what it is, but they won't talk about that either. But I'm not going to let you guys forget this. I'm not going to let you forget. Remember, we were told that the summer of burning, aka the summer of love, right? 2020 happened. We're not going to let you forget that Portland, Oregon still is rioting to this day. We're not going to let you forget this stuff. We're not going to let you tell us that.
We're not going to let you forget that they did nothing until they started to threaten the actual mayor of that city. Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Until things got a little too much for the mayor personally. Yeah. They did nothing.
Yeah.
So the people who lived in that area and had to, had to go through that with no support, who cares about those plebs?
Yep.
Right. Who cares about the pores, as Tim Pool likes to say.
The pores, yeah.
The pores. You know, well, it didn't matter until then. It was a summer of love. This is just a summer of love. Nobody's getting shot up. There's no lawlessness in this autonomous zone. They just want, they're just spreading love.
Yeah. As people get murdered.
Until it comes knocking at her door, and then boom, shut down. But even now, we're seeing that they didn't really shut it down.
No.
It's still going on.
And listen, the mayor who sided with him is now against them magically. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, Orange Man's out. Now I need to attack this.
Oh well, that's always been the thing.
Yeah,
we're not gonna forget that Cuomo killed thousands of people. Whitmer killed thousands of people. 4 other governors did the same thing.
Newsom
putting sick coronavirus sick patients back into nursing homes, and other not even the same ages. It's not like they're the elderly that they're putting back. They're putting other people. That's why we had that video that we're not going to forget of that one younger black dude beating the crap out of old people because he was put there because he had the coronavirus.
Yep.
And at first I thought he worked there and he was some maniac who had gotten the job somehow. No, he was just put there by the governor's policies. So he's killing them by giving them coronavirus, and he's beating the hell out of them.
Yep.
For fun.
Yep.
We're also not going to forget that they emptied prisons because of coronavirus scares, and then went and found people who were still running their businesses against governor's orders and put them into jail where there was a coronavirus scare.
They're having prison sentences too if you get a vaccine, by the way.
Say that again?
California's having they're cutting in half prison sentences if you get the coronavirus vaccine.
They want you to get this vaccine so bad.
Oh, they do. They really need a big experimental blueprint. But here's the thing too. You remember, speaking of Portland, you remember when Biden said that Antifa is just an idea?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm. It's just come on, man. It's just an idea, man.
Hey, also remember when Biden said that he would forgive college debt? Remember that?
I do remember that.
His budget just came out this week. That's not even on there. They're not going to do that.
Right. Well, I mean, he said I remember him saying a couple of months ago that, it can't be done. It's not going to happen. We're not even interested in that.
Hey, but here's what's funny is that's the normal. That's the normal of politics, right? Politics say a bunch of stuff and do none of it.
Oh, for sure.
But the guy who said he was going to do things and then did them, he was the bad guy. Remember that?
Absolutely. You can't do that. It makes the system look bad.
You can't lower taxes.
And they're a part of the system.
Hey, remember when Kamala Harris said she was going to the border?
No, I remember when she cackled at the thought of going to the border.
But she still hasn't gone to the border, by the way.
I remember when she was put in charge of the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey, do you remember when the walls were evil and bad, and then they kept building the walls that were evil and bad?
Mm-hmm. Well, that was because of funding that had already been put into place, and they couldn't do anything legally to...
Sure.
But no new money was being put towards...
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, that's what's amazing to me, to think about this whole situation, right?
I remember when Kids in Cages was a bad thing.
Yeah,
now
Kids in Cages,
now it's just... It's just a facility.
Yeah, it's a holding facility. It's
just a holding facility. It's no big
deal. Right.
Hey, they get super neat space blankets, man. They're like a metal plastic thing, and yet somehow you stay warm. It's amazing.
100%, man.
It's like going to the Kennedy Center, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they have it better.
Yeah.
They're living it up there in those migrant facilities.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet you
Interesting.
they get the upside down writing pen too.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there was a lot of things that I'm never gonna let you guys live down. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I'm not. The election, I'm never gonna let you live this down. I'm never gonna let you live down Corona. I'm never gonna let this Black Lives Matter BS. You know, because listen, I mean, I don't know if you saw the leader in England, the girl who is leader of the Black Lives Matter movement in England, which is hilarious, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. Standing in solidarity there in that really rough and tumble Black Lives Matter, rich England, by the way, gets shot by 4 black men, by the way. Just, can't, I won't let you forget that one.
Yeah, I remember. I saw that recently.
Listen, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to let you forget. Hands up, don't shoot was a lie. I'm not going to let you forget that. I'm not going to let. I refuse, because at the end of the day, because if we don't do this, even with the scope of our audience, which isn't Joe Rogan massive or anything like that, who knows? One day, I don't know. Well, who knows? You never know when that happens.
That's the idea.
Okay, because if you do, you let this stuff memory hole, and then they will be able to do this crap again and again and again and again, because it'll be COVID-21 pretty soon. That'll be
and people will have no frame of reference to know if they're being lied to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because you think about it, nobody remembers Jimmy Carter, had gas lines except for old people. Nobody remembers that.
Yeah.
We haven't declared.
I didn't live it, but I remember it because it was history that was taught to me.
But listen, the globalists haven't had a chance to really start a new. war in the Middle East yet. For the last 4 years, they haven't been able to start one. And when they start it up again, which they will,
They kind of already are.
I know they already are.
They're just trying to turn the world against Israel.
Exactly. God, it's crazy. That's insane to me. But they're going to try this crap again. It'll be weapons of mass destruction, or the terrorist that's out there, or whatever it is. They're going to use this crap again. They're going to use another police shooting to rile up Black Lives Matter in 4 years, because magically they're like the Olympics. They only show up every 4 years. Okay, they'll show up hard again in 4 years for the next election when DeSantis or Trump runs for it. You know what I mean? It'll magically show up again. And we're going to remind people of this stuff over and over and over again. I think the difference this time is people. What's the old phrase that George Bush used to butcher? It's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right?
Yeah.
The internet will not allow you to get fooled again. There's only so many times the same stuff can happen, the same lies can happen, and it's not like they're original with this stuff. They're not original. It's going to be the same playbook. It's climate change. It's some bullcrap disease. It's racism. It's some bullcrap lie, and they'll keep playing this game all the time. But you know what the beautiful thing is? The two kings, we're better at playing this game. We're better at it. We're better than they are. And we don't forget. It's like, I always use this analogy, right? This is the beautiful thing about the Kings, right? Most teams look really good in the first quarter of games. They look great. I'll give you an example. Alabama. Are you familiar with college football?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you better be, because the U's playing Alabama week 1 this year. Are you ready for that? I just broke your heart, didn't I?
Well, first of all, my brother taught me to hate Alabama.
True.
So every time I hear Roll Tide, I cringe inside.
Every time
just a part of me dies. Roll Tide, shut up, you. I used to like you.
Listen,
and it's just a regular person who loves their football team, like I love mine. But man, do I hate them.
Yeah.
But they've been good for a long time.
Yes.
Miami has not been good since 2002.
I keep waiting for the U to come back. I do want the U to come back. I'm a Notre Dame guy, but I want the U back.
Well, the problem is that So if you lose stride, right, for too long, your reputation goes, and you can't convince people.
Yes.
To come to you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, once you lose the swag or the aura, it's like, do I really believe in you?
And there's still some elements of that.
Yeah.
But the best players want to win national championships.
That's why they go to Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. They load up at these teams that they know that they can make it happen, you know?
Yep.
Which is crazy. But it's how she blows,
and it's a cycle, you know? I mean, the landscape will shift someday as well.
Sure.
But the University of Miami should have never let it get this bad. They shouldn't have gotten rid of Butch Davis. So
never should have got rid of Butch Davis ever.
Ever.
They should have listen, Butch, we'll pay you whatever you need to get paid to not go to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Whatever. But to the point, most teams look pretty decent against Alabama in the first quarter, maybe the second quarter. Okay. Mm-hmm. But when they come back third quarter, it's a completely different game. Because the difference between the Alabamas of the world and everybody else is an insane coaching staff with an insane ability of their athletes. They can be like, hey, listen, this is what they're doing. We're going to shut this down, blow it up, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like Plausible Foolishness is that way. We have been through, 3 years now?
Mm-hmm.
3 years has been the first 2 quarters. Okay. We're at halftime, and we know what the play is, and we know what's coming. We know how this looks. We know about these globalist vampires. We know about the race hustlers. We know about the climate change BS, you know. Well, we know about the science that is complete hogwash. We know what's coming. JBN
with the subscription, 8 months.
Woo! Woo!
Thank you for paying your voluntary taxes, and thank you for being such a fine citizen.
JBN.
Empire, and a real American.
A real American. It's things like that, JBN, that allow us to get better as a coaching staff here, get better as players, and it allows us to battle liberal logic. Like, it allows us to destroy this all the time. And we're not going to forget. We've seen the play. We know how to shut it down. And we're going to shut it down every single time. And that's why we're not going to give up the fight. And we're going to keep battling every single week. And that's why Plausible Foolishness is what it is. And we're going to have great guests like we've had before. We've had the Topher Town. We've had Kung Man. We've had a lot of
I want to have them on again. Because they're about to go on tour. I want to see if I can get all of Space Force.
Ooh, all of Space Force.
Yeah.
Could you handle that? I mean, could Plausible Foolishness handle the Space Force all at the same time?
If they're in the same room, we could definitely handle it. If they're all coming from different places, I don't know if our bandwidth can handle it, but we'll try.
Sure. That's true. True. But listen, man, we appreciate every single one of you guys for helping us out, supporting us, keeping the show
100%.
Yeah, we can't do the show without you. Go ahead.
And really now, the next step, we got microphones coming on. We're upgrading the audio. We got microphones coming up. It's going to sound very nice. Chef kiss.
Can they handle our sexy voice?
Oh, they can handle it. And they will handle it. And they'll spread the word. That is the next step.
Yep.
We need to grow the population.
Yep.
We got amazing citizens.
Yep.
But we need more. We need to bring others into the fold. Help them cross the border and become citizens.
Amen. Legally.
Yes.
Legally. Dude, it's been a great show, dude. I think it's been one of my favorite shows. I'm glad we don't forget. I appreciate, 2 minds are better than 1. 3 minds are even better, We'll see you next week. Dusty, we miss you, bro. And go ahead, bro.
We got one more thing.
Yo.
A suggestion.
Yep.
For how you can help us grow the population.
Hit him.
Obviously, you tell your friends that think like you do. Hey, check out the show. I really enjoy it. But you obviously, if you're watching us, you got to watch other videos in the same vein, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
Leave a comment. Hey, loved your show. There's this other show called Plausible Foolishness you might want to check out. They're great guys. Maybe have them on your show. You know, things like that. Tim Pool does his show. Send him a super chat that he reads at the end of his show and say, hey, you guys should have Plausible Foolishness on.
Woo!
We'd be there.
Oh, I'd definitely be there for Tim Pool. That'd be fun.
That would be great.
I'd call him out, though. I'd be like, listen, can you just own that you're a conservative now? Just own it. Just own it. It's okay. It ain't gonna hurt.
Yeah, and we'll probably get into a debate with Ian about the existence of God, and I'm down for that.
I'm down. I like that. I'm totally down.
But yeah,
spread the word. Blow this thing up.
Comment. Leave. Put our name out there. Leave our name. Put some respect on our name and leave it in the comment section of other people. And comment on our videos too. That helps us show up in the algorithms and all that stuff. Like, subscribe, all that jazz.
True that, man.
All that garbage.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've had a great show today. I appreciate it, man. I am rocking and rolling, and I appreciate all of you guys for being patient with me as I've been working hard at work and trying to be a dad and follower of Christ and all that fun stuff and balanced life and all that good stuff. And I appreciate all of you guys, man. But Matt, tell them about this show, man. Send us out like the G.
You've been watching Plausible Foolishness.
Huh?
You've been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Wednesday night. Right here on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, and anywhere you can get a podcast. Peace out.
See y'all.
Yo, it's crazy that when I sit back and look, that even within the black community, we have a whole war going on amongst conservatives and others, simply about how we want to move the black community forward.
I saw that on the gram, Snoop made a post, bashing on some black educated folks. Calling them a coon, no it wasn't jokes. Man, you tripping like your foot caught between the spokes. You couldn't hold a likeness to Hurricane. So the man with better class and better brains, out rebuilding our communities and other things, like making up for all the damage from the dopest slang. Candace O, she's a queen in her own right, not the type to monetize off her own plight. Working hard for black America day and night. Understand that you're not the only dog in this fight. Terrence K refused to be a product of the system. Bounce around the foster care, no he ain't a victim. You got probation and luckily died going to prison. Yeah, you believe you had the right to post criticism? David Harris, I can tell the pain's authentic. He truly cares for the people, meaning all pigment. Your music is a reason why this generation's violent. Another reason why I couldn't stay silent. Miss Staten, she's a G, she did real time. All you do is talk about it, a real crime. But even that can't hold her back while she steady climb the long ladder to success in these troubled times. Tell me what's wrong with Pastor Derek Scott? You hating on the man, simply how I walk with God. When he